How much prize money have Arsenal earned in Champions League? Arsenal will have pocketed at least £95 million in prize money from this season's Champions League, should they beat Paris Saint-Germain in the final. The Gunners have already guaranteed themselves a minimum of about £91.5 million for reaching the final, although that may be nearer £130 million, depending on how much they have earned from UEFA in the form of television revenue. Winning the final itself is worth an additional €6.5 million, €5.63 million. Arsenal received €18.62 million, €16.14 million for qualifying for the league phase. For winning all 8 league phase matches, they were given a €16.8 million, €14.6 million bonus. They were then awarded to €1.7 million for a finish between first and 8th place, and a further €9.9 million, €8.6 million for being the top-ranked team. For reaching the last 16, Mikel Arteta's side were awarded €11 million, €9.5 million. They were given an additional €12.5 million, €10.8 million for reaching the quarter-finals, and a further €15 million, €13 million for the semi-finals. As finalists, Arsenal have already guaranteed themselves €18.5 million, €16 million, a number which will increase to €25 million, €21.7 million, should they beat PSG. Arsenal will earn record prize money for their Champions League campaign in 2025-26, with progression to the final guaranteeing even more than champions Paris Saint-Germain earned last season. Arsenal's progression to the Champions League final on Tuesday night had significant financial implications, as the Gunners are set to receive an additional €18.5 million for reaching the showpiece event. That brings the club to €143.5 million, £124 million for the season so far, not including the ticket sales and commercial deals associated with being in the competition. The Gunners could earn another €6.5 million for winning the competition, which would bring their prize money total to €150 million, £129.6 million. Arsenal would also then earn an extra £3.5 million for qualifying for the UEFA Super Cup. The money Arsenal have already earned by reaching the final is a huge amount, more than in any of their previous campaigns in Europe, and more than Paris Saint-Germain received for winning the competition last season. That's partly because Arsenal have racked up so many results along the way, with draws earning more than defeats, and wins earning more than draws. The Gunners won all 8 league phase games, and have won 3 of 6 knockout matches. But it's also because UEFA increased their prize pool for this season, creating the opportunity for a record high prize income. When you add in the fact that Arsenal's ticket revenue at the Emirates Stadium is so high, this has been an extremely lucrative European campaign for the club. Victory in the final later this month would only add to that, and give the club significant funds to work with in the summer transfer market. Winning matches and progressing through the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League is not only a sporting statement, but also represents a major financial reward for Europe's top clubs. The league phase of the 2025-26 Champions League has come to an end, and while last-minute goals from teams like Benfica or Sporting, along with Arsenal's perfect run, delivered plenty of drama on the pitch, the financial impact of it has been just as significant. According to a breakdown published by Spanish newspaper Marca, clubs have been ranked based on the bonuses earned from match victories and qualification to the round of 16. At the top of that list sits Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, by far the biggest beneficiary so far, with close to €60 million earned during the league phase. The top 8 clubs, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Tottenham, Barcelona, Chelsea, Sporting and Manchester City, have all surpassed €50 million in earnings in descending order. How much money did Real Madrid lose by missing out on direct qualification? Following the disaster at the Estadio de los Álvaro Arbeloa's Real Madrid, led by Kylian Mbappé, finished with around €38 million in earnings. By being forced into the playoff round, the club chaired by Florentino Perez missed out on an additional €2 million, a bonus reserved exclusively for the top 8 teams in the standings. Still, Los Blancos can earn an extra €11 million if they manage to reach the round of 16, but to do so they must overcome Benfica or Bodo Glimt. In contrast, Jose Mourinho's Benfica secured €29 million by avoiding early elimination. How much money does the Champions League winner earn? Prize money accumulates with every round, starting from the round of 16 and continuing all the way to the final, adding up to €82 million, on top of what clubs already earned during the league phase. For context, according to Marca, PSG earned €144 million after winning last season's Champions League. Bayern Munich collected €136.6 million. Champions League 2025-26 earnings by club. Arsenal, €59.74 million. Bayern Munich, €57.33 million. Liverpool, €54.92 million. Tottenham, €53.90 million. Barcelona, €52.89 million. Chelsea, €52.57 million. Sporting, €52.26 million. Manchester City, €51.94 million. Real Madrid, €37.93 million. Inter Milan, €37.61 million. PSG, €36.60 million. Newcastle, €36.28 million. Juventus, €35.27 million. Atletico Madrid, €34.95 million. Atalanta, €34.64 million. Bayer Leverkusen, €33.62 million. Borussia Dortmund, €32.61 million. Olympiacos, €32.29 million. Club Brugge, €31.28 million. Galatasaray, €30.97 million. Monaco, €30.65 million. Karabag, €30.34 million. Bodo Glimt, €29.32 million. Benfica, €29.01 million.